Hi there, this is Ed Herzog with edherzog.com. Today I want to show you JetBlog by Crocoblock. JetBlog is a plugin that you can use with Elementor websites to design your blog pages. Not your blog posts, your blog pages where you have a listing of your various blog posts. You can use JetBlog with either the free version or the pro version of Elementor. So let me switch over to my screen and show you what you can do with JetBlog.
So the first thing that I want to do is give you an overview of JetBlog and show you the pricing options. Here you can see that JetBlog supports WP query. As it says, use meta query, date query, include or exclude terms, set custom post offsets, and order publications according to your needs. It also works with custom post types, empower your content with visual effects to highlight the most important information. And finally, it says it's great for post archive templates. Specify smart post lists or smart post tile widgets as archive templates to showcase the latest publication archives. Now here are the 6 widgets that you get with JetBlog. So first of all, Elementor video playlist for YouTube, Vimeo, or other, post pagination, post navigation, Elementor ticker for news and other content, Elementor post tiles, and smart post lists. Now let's take a quick look at some examples of these in action. So here are some examples of the video playlist in action. And here is the news ticker in action. And now some examples of the post tile. And finally, the Smart Post Listing widget. Okay, in terms of pricing, you see that you have 3 options for buying JetBlog. The first option is $19 a year for a single website. For unlimited websites, it's $39 a year. And then you can also get JetBlog in a plugin set starting at $80 a year. And as you can see, all of these come with a 30-day money-back guarantee. By the way, I will put my affiliate link in the video description below in case you decide to buy JetBlog. When you buy via my affiliate link, I do receive a small commission, which enables me to continue to create 100% free content. So here I am on my website, and I've just created a sample page where I've added 4 of the widgets. So we'll take a look at these 4 widgets first, and then we'll take a look at the post pagination and the post navigation widget. So we'll start with this widget here. This is the smart post tile widget. So first of all, you have different options for the layout. So you've got 9 different options, and it's pretty easy to switch from one to another. Let's click on that, and it switches over. And some of these have different options depending on which one you've chosen. So all of them have minimum height, so you can change the minimum height if you want to make these bigger or smaller, whatever size you want to put them at, it's up to you. Now this one here, for example, has main box width, so if it has a main box here in the middle, you have the option to change that as well. Some of these ones here, for example, you get the option to set the number of rows, so 1, 2, or 3, depending on how many posts you want to display. You can play around with that. So those are some of the options there for the layout. Then you can also set the image size. Now I found that full tends to work best. For example, if I change to thumbnail, the image is going to be very blurry. So I found that it's just best to stick with full. I mean, you can play around with it if you want, but at least in my playing around with it, I found that full tends to work best. Here you can turn on post terms if you want to do that. So you can display category, tags, or formats. It says max terms to show 1, 2, 3, or 4, or all. So you can do that if you want. Let's go ahead and turn that off. Now, this is important. It says title max length words. It says show 0 to show full title. So there's no way to turn off the title and then display the title here. At least not directly. I'm going to show you a workaround. Now for me this causes a bit of an issue because as you see with a lot of my featured images, they already have text on them. So by displaying the title here, it's kind of like right here, you may not be able to see it, but it says the word top. And so it's overlapping with the image here. This one here, this Elementor, that is part of the title, but I also have all these words up here. So it kind of looks weird. This here is opt-in monster. That's what it should say, but again, the monster part, or I guess the onster part is blending into the white here. Here you're seeing a word covering up the word choose on the image. So there's no way to directly turn this off. Now, it's not a problem if you've got just pure images like this one here. But otherwise, what I found is you can go into the style settings and set the title font at 0, and then these will not display. If you've got these sort of things like I do, where it just doesn't look nice when you have the title on top of these words are already here on the featured image. So just be aware that there's no direct way to do that. I hope they will change that at some point, but there's no direct way to turn the title off. Next up, you can set an excerpt if you want the post excerpt to show. It says set 0 to hide excerpt or -1 to show the full excerpt, or you can add in, however many words you want. Just add in 15 and 15. I didn't really style these, that's why it doesn't look very good there. But, as you can see, they've got it styled nice here. Actually, one other thing real quick. This is important. It says show excerpt on small boxes only on hover. That's actually a really good option. So let me show you that over here. So, if I come over here and hover over that, you see then the excerpt appears. So that's what that option there does, which I think is a good option to use if you want to show the excerpt. You can also show the post meta. You've got options for show post author, show post date, date icon, and show post comments. So those are some of the options for layout and styling. Now for query and controls. So you can use it as an archive template, so you can turn that off if you want. You can set a custom query for your post if you want to do that. You can choose post types, so post pages, mega menu items, my library, those are the options there. Query posts by categories, all categories, tags, or IDs. Then you can choose, within, for example, categories, you can choose categories. You can also exclude posts by certain IDs. Got a post offset. You can order by ascending or descending, and then set the order by different options right there. It's my cat sneezing in the background. If you happen to hear a sneeze, that was my cat. Okay, so you can also filter by custom field if you want to do that. So a lot of options for querying what is going to show up here in terms of the posts or pages or whatever you want to display here. You can also enable a carousel. So you've got some options here. You can hide the unified slider or turn it on, number of slides, autoplay speed, and then finally you can show control arrows, and you've got different control arrows and show arrows only on hover as an option as well. So a lot of different options there for carousel if you want to turn on the carousel. And finally, come down here to custom fields. And you can show meta before or after title and show meta before or after content. And then they've got some options here as well. So that is the Smart Post tile. Again, you can come here. You've got all sorts of style options. So styling for the box. Puts a gap between them. You can set padding, border type, border radius, box shadow, box overlay. For the content, again, you've got title, main box title, post text, etc. So again, this is like anything in Elementor. You just have a ton of options for styling all of this within here. I'm not going to go through all these in detail, but you've got options for just about everything in terms of styling how this looks. And then, of course, you've got your advanced option as well. Again, mine may not look that nice. I just kind of put this on here and was playing around with it just to show you and run through these. But again, as you've already seen here, you can do some very, very nice blog layouts using this particular widget. Those are all really, really nicely designed and look, I think they look spectacular, right? They're just very, very nice and very, very eye-catching. So now let's take a look at the Smart Post list widget. So first of all, you can add a widget title if you want. You can see I just added new blog posts, which shows up right here. You can see that in action here where it says trending news, over here where it says trending news. So that is the widget title. You can mark the first post as featured. So if you want to have this large image here, you turn this on. If you don't, you can turn that off and just get a listing of posts right along there. Let's turn that back on. You can change a featured post position, make it top, left, or right. Just slide over to the right for a second and just flips over there. Move it back to the left. You can change the max width of this featured post. You can make it bigger, make it smaller, whatever size you want. For the featured post layout, you can make it boxed or simple. For the featured post image size, you have options for full, thumbnail, medium, etc. I found full works best for me, but you can check and see what works best for you. Coming down here, again, with the featured post title, this is going to be similar to the other widget. There is no way to turn this off. So if one of these was over here, I'd have a problem because I'd have this title here showing up on top of these words that are already part of my featured image. So like the other widget, what I'd need to do is I would need to go into style settings and set the font size for this to 0. But if you don't have featured images like this, if you just have photos, it works fine. You can either put 0 to give the full title, or you can set a certain number of words. Next up is the featured post excerpt length. So again, you can set the number of words you want. You can set it to 0 to hide the excerpt, or -1 to show the full excerpt. Here you can add a trimmed ending, just 3 dots is normal. You can see that maybe right there. I don't know how well you can see that, but there are 3 dots at the end there. Next, you can turn the featured post meta on or off. So right here you see I have my name, the date, and number of comments. So I can turn that off if I want, and it goes away, or I can turn it back on. I can change the position. I can make it before the title, after the title, or after the excerpt. And then I have options for the post meta. I've got post author, turn on or off, the icon, post date, on or off, date icon, post comments, on or off, comments icon. So these are the options for the post meta. You can also turn on post terms. So again, if I want to show the category or the tag or the format, I have those options there. And then, no, I guess there are other options for that one. So those are my options for the post terms. Now, coming over here, I can change the number of columns. If I want to show more columns, I can do that. Change this back to 1. I can also change the number of rows if I want to show more or fewer posts over here. I can do that. I can turn the post thumbnail on or off. I can, again, change the image size here, full, thumbnail, medium, etc. I can change the image position, top, right, or left. I can change the size of the image, make it bigger, make it smaller. I can, with the title, again, I can put 0 to show the full title, or I can add a certain number of words if I only want a certain number of words to show up. The excerpt, again, which is right down here, it says, for example, introduction, which fast comment hosting plan. Again, I can put 0 to show the to hide it, -1 to show the full excerpt or a certain number of words. Add a trimmed ending. I can turn this on to show a read more button. The post meta, again, I can turn that on or off. And again, I've got some options for where to put it. Before title, after excerpt. Again, I can show post author, show post date, date icon, show post comments. And finally, I have the option to show the post terms, showing categories, tags, or formats. So in terms of querying controls, you can first of all use this as an archive template. You can use a custom query if you want to do that, or you can come here and choose post, pages, or you might have other options. You can query by all categories, tags, or IDs. If you choose categories, for example, you can choose from your different categories right there. You can also exclude posts by IDs. You can then set a post offset. You can order by ascending or descending, and then you have a bunch of options to choose from to set the order. You can also filter by custom field if you want to use that. You can show filter by terms, which gives you a bunch of other options here for select terms for filter, show all button in the start of filter, roll up extra terms, roll up extra terms. So you've got a bunch of different options here if you want to filter by terms. Finally, you can add paging control. So if I turn that on, I can set control arrows by different, I have different options here for what the control arrow looks like. And it says to top, scrolling to the top of the widget after a click on pagination arrow. So you've got these pagination buttons here that give you paging control if you want to turn that on as well. Finally, in terms of custom fields, you can show the meta before or after the title and show meta before or after content. So as you're seeing, you have a lot of different options here in terms of customizing the look of this, but also in terms of making queries to show what you want to show here. And then in terms of styling, I'm going to tell you there are a ton of options here. I'm not going to take you through every single one of these. As you see, there are a lot of options. So post wrapper options, heading options, filter options, feature post meta options, featured read more button option, featured term links, post meta, post read more button, term links, paging arrows, custom fields, loader styles. You know, you can style all of this. So again, you can make this look the way you want. And as I showed, these look really nice. These, I mean, I am really impressed. I mean, mine may not look that great. You know, I kind of feel embarrassed showing this in comparison to these here. But again, it just shows that, you know, I didn't really play, you know, I just kind of played around with this. I didn't try to make it something beautiful, but you can see you can make some really, really nice looking blog pages using this particular widget. So again, this to me has a lot of value, and you can do a lot with this and create some nice pages. So let's take a look at the video playlist widget. So first of all, you can choose your source. So you can add a custom video list, in which case you can add videos individually one by one, or you can add a YouTube channel or playlist. As you see here, I've added a URL, which is my playlist for my CrocodBlock review videos. And here you can set how many videos you want displaying here. I have 10 set, although actually fewer than 10 videos, so you know, you can always put more, but you know, if you want less than the maximum, you can put a smaller number there. In terms of settings, so first of all, you can change the playlist height. So just change this 300 pixels. Now this is going to do something weird. For some reason, when I make changes, at least for me, this disappears here. It still shows up fine on the actual live page, but in the editor back here, it disappears. You know, if I reload the page, it'll show up again, but just some issue that I have, you know, you may or may not have that issue. It's just kind of annoying, but it doesn't really affect what shows up on the front end. Let's move that back to 450. You can make the thumbnail orientation horizontal or vertical. And then you have different position options, left or right. If it's vertical, and then horizontal, you've got bottom and top. You can change the width here of these thumbnails. You can turn this heading where it says video playlist on or off, and then here you can change the heading text. You can also change this heading icon, the little cursor or whatever you want, the arrow. Here you can show the video counter. You can turn that on or off. You turn that off, and that goes away. But if you have it on, you can also change this word here where it says videos. Show item number and status, so I can turn that off, and those numbers that were along there go away. I have the option to hide the index on tablets and or mobile. Same thing here with the show item duration. So here you see how long the video is, 15 minutes and 28 seconds. You can turn that on or off. And you can also hide it or turn it on tablets and mobile. You can hide thumbnail images on tablets, hide it on mobile, and then you can show scroll only on hover. So you see here, I have the scroll bar, but if I turn this here on, it goes away, but when I hover, it comes back. And then you can turn caching for the videos on or off. So those are the settings for customizing the look here. But then of course you also have the style settings. And again, I'm not going to take you through all of these, but you can set the background, thumbnail background, heading background, wrapper border radius, heading padding, heading icon, colors, heading title, color typography, thumbnail styles, thumbnail numbers and status icons, scroll bar styles. So a lot of options to customize the look and feel of this particular widget. So let's take a look at the news ticker widget. So first of all, you can add in a widget title. So let's just add in the word featured. And you see it shows up right here. You can hide the title on tablets, hide it on mobile. You can show the current date. You have different options for setting the date format. You can change or turn off this icon right here. And you can hide the date on tablets or hide it on mobile. Let's go ahead and hide this for the moment on this here. Here you can choose how many posts you want to show up in this ticker here. You can choose the post type. You can query posts by different things, all, sticky posts, categories, tags, and IDs. And obviously, for example, if you have categories chosen, you can choose from your different categories. Scroll down here, and then you can exclude posts by IDs. You can also set a post offset or filter by custom fields. Here you can set the length of the title here, how long you want that to be. You can turn this thumbnail on or off. You can set the thumbnail size. You can hide the thumbnail on tablets, hide it on mobile. You can show the post author. Turn that off. You can show the post date, which is this here. And so they give some instructions. Obviously this doesn't, I don't know what that means, 1302. Is that February 13th maybe? But anyways, you'll have to go through and figure out the formatting for how to do that. You can give a date icon. You can hide the date on tablets, hide it on mobile. So you have those options. So those are the options here for setting this up. Then you have options here for the slider. So you can turn or turn off the typing effect. You can add a typing cursor character. You can do multi-line typing. You can autoplay the post. Right now it's autoplaying, or you can turn that off. You can set the autoplay speed. You can show these control arrows or not. And if you show them, you have different options for what display you want there. Then of course you can come to style, and you've got options for styling the widget, options for styling the widget title, options for styling the current date, the posts, and the paging arrow. And again, I just set this up real, just basic. But you see here, you can do some very nice things here in terms of the look and feel of this news ticker. Again, I think this is a very useful widget. If, particularly if you're some sort of a news website, this is something, we're constantly putting out new articles on a regular basis. This is a widget that could have a lot of value for you. So let's take a look at the post navigation widget. Now for this, I've placed it on my actual blog page on my website. Just to demonstrate it, it seems for some reason to work better here than on that sample page that I was using for the other widget. So the first thing to note is it says it works only with a main query object. What I take that to mean is it's working with whatever you have queried here on the page. So, it's not going to work with, what's not on the page. It will obviously work with what you've queried on this page. So first of all, you can show the post title instead of showing something like older posts, newer posts. So turn that on. Now, I don't know why this here is saying under construction. Again, I haven't, done a deep dive. I haven't contacted customer service. I like to do these reviews based on kind of what it is out of the box without contacting customer support. So this, I don't know why it's saying under construction. I don't have a blog post that says under construction. So anyway, you can here set the post title max length. If you don't show the full length, you can add a trimmed ending, and then you can set the different link here. As opposed to this arrow here, you have different options. Same thing here for the newer posts. Then if you come back over here, turn that off. You can change the title from, older posts or newer posts. You have options there. And again, you can change the arrow here to something else. In terms of styling, you can change the alignment depending on where you want to put it. Again, you can change colors, typography, etc. You can also change the gap between these items. So if you want to give it a bigger gap, and this only goes up to 50 there, but you can actually just manually type something in and make it even bigger. So you have that option. And then you have options here for styling these icons. Again, a lot of different options for making them look how you want them to look. And you can make these boxes bigger. Again, a lot of different options for styling the post navigation here for your blog pages. Let's finish by taking a look at the post pagination widget. Now I'm going to tell you right off that this widget is not working for me. I have no idea why. Right here I have it placed on my actual blog page on my website. I've also tried it on that sample page where I showed you a lot of the other widgets that come with JetBlog, and it doesn't work in either place. As you see it right there, it looks basically broken. And if I come over here onto my actual blog page, there is nothing down here that shows up. So I don't know. Right here, I believe this is how it's supposed to look, because right here it does say drag and drop the post pagination widget, and here you see how it's supposed to look. So it should have page numbers and then a next if you have that turned on. As you see here, again, it's supposed to work with the main query object, so it's supposed to work with whatever is on your page. You can add the previous or next page links. So you can turn this here. Right here it only has a next, but you can turn that on or off. And you can change the words on that if you have it turned on. If you don't want to say previous next, if you want to say something else, you can change those words. You can change the angle to something else. And then you have style settings for alignment, colors, typography, item width, gaps, and for the previous and next icons, you've got styling settings as well. Again, I do these reviews just based on how things work for me out of the box. I do them without contacting customer service because this could very well be your experience as well. So, this one is not working for me. So, the best I can say is, if you run into this problem, you'll need to contact customer support. But it does look like it could be a useful widget, as you see right here.
So overall, I think that JetBlog is an excellent plugin for creating your blog pages. All the JetBlog widgets have tons of customization options, so you can design your pages to look the way you want. I did run into a few issues, particularly with the pagination widget, but I imagine the issues can be fixed by contacting customer support. And for me, there's more than enough value in the rest of the JetBlog widgets to make this a worthwhile purchase. Which again, if you do decide to buy JetBlog, I will put my affiliate link in the video description below. Also, if you run into any issues, if you have any questions about JetBlog, please let me know and I'll do my best to answer them for you. Finally, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm going to be doing 3 to 4 videos a week for the rest of 2020, videos to help you build and grow your online business. So that is it. I hope you found value in this video and I hope to see you on the next video. Bye.